There we are. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello, and welcome to all of y'all. Yeah, I know I'm a couple of minutes late, just running a little bit behind. I do the best I can, but sometimes it works that way. Thank y'all for sticking around. I know some of y'all been out there forever waiting as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me start off as I always do with a big old SKD 143. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love all my friends out here. I love all the reality fans around the world. That's such a cool community. So thank you for spending a Monday night with me. The first day of November. Can y'all believe it? We finished up with Halloween yesterday. Kind of. We're going to talk about Halloween, but finished up with Halloween. Now it's on to Thanksgiving and turkeys. And before you know it, old Jolly St. Nick and then a New Year's baby. And maybe 2022 is going to be a little different than 2021. A whole lot less COVID, a whole lot more getting out and about. How about that? Now, I hope y'all are doing fantastic today. Let's see who all's out here. Because like I say, I know some of y'all been out here for a little while, and thank you for that. Ma, looks like you're here. Brian Hostetler, thanks once again to Brian. He bid and won the Zoom call with me. He and I sat down and talked forever all about Big Brother. I had a blast. So Brian, thank you so much. You're a true friend. You're also an amazing person, and Hearts of Reality certainly is going to appreciate it. Before I go any further, just as a reminder, Hearts of Reality, second weekend of December over in Orlando, Florida. So for those of you who are close, or for those of you who've just been waiting to take that trip to Universal or Disney World, hey, that'd be a fun weekend to do it. Come say hi. I'm going to have a blast meeting all those other reality folks out there, so it's going to be fun. So thank you, Brian, for that. I absolutely appreciate it. Mark Taylor, but asking, should Erica smash the hourglass? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But the short answer, heck yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see. Let's see. Alessia as well. Amanda Lowe. Amanda, I saw you out there early, it seems like as well. Anthony Stike, Noah Lemon, Lindsay as well. Thank you so much. And did I miss anyone? If so, D. Ellis as well. And Michelle Moore, Maureen Carroll, and Joyce Greenstead. I hope I got all y'all. And if I didn't, I'm sorry. It wasn't intentional at all. Lindsay, hey, Cliff, happy November. It's a month to remember to count your blessings, and you are a blessing to me. Well, thank you. I certainly right back at you. All of y'all. Here's the thing. I was in that Big Brother house. Y'all know towards the end, all of a sudden it became obvious that I was getting sent home. I wasn't going to make it to the final three. And I spent about 24 hours or so feeling kind of depressed and upset and like, oh, woe is me. I played so hard, got so far, and I'm just not going to quite make it to the end. But then I sat there for a second and said, you know what? I got so much going on in the world. I got the most amazing wife, the most amazing kids, and everything's pretty good with my life. There's a whole lot of people that aren't nearly as well off as I am. And so with that in mind, I thought, all right, I'm just going to have fun for the last few days I'm in the house. I'm not going to let it get me down. And I hope y'all feel that way. But I got to say, coming out here on Monday, seeing y'all, getting to talk to y'all as well, it always just gives me a little up tip to start the week. So thank you for that. Now, I said hello to all of y'all out there. I don't want to leave out those of you who are watching on the replay later, because I know there's a lot of you who do it as well. Yeah, not everyone has a Monday night to sit down and watch. And also for all of y'all as well, thank you also. I appreciate the support. I absolutely do. And for all of y'all, hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. You'll find out all about my YouTube, whether it's these Monday nights or I'm doing the Survivor recaps. Who knows what else I'm going to do as we go along as well. So I do that, and you can hit the like button as well. Nothing wrong with that. So there you go. That's my little pitch. And now we'll move on to some different conversations. All right, first of all, well, let's talk about Halloween before we go any further. Even though it's not Halloween now, I wasn't out here on Monday or yesterday. Maybe I should have. I watched a scary movie. We'll talk about that. But for the most part, I hope y'all have fantastic Halloween. Yeah, when I was younger, especially when our kids were still younger and doing trick-or-treating, we'd dress up, we'd go out and about and have a blast doing it. Didn't do that this year. We kind of, really with COVID, we've taken the last couple of years a little easier, having the candy for the kids when they come by. But that's what we did this year. Stayed indoors, let the kids come to us, handed out a little bit of candy here or there. and I ate most of the rest of it. I'm getting there. And we watched the Houston Astros beat the Atlanta Braves in Game 5 of the World Series. Woo! Yeah, I love. I really love college sports, baseball, football, etc. But when my Houston teams are doing well, I'm cheering them on as well. So we had a blast watching the Astros play. And as I said, I watched a kind of scary movie that I'll mention in just a second. But I hope y'all had fun on Halloween. I'll check the comments. Y'all have any fun costumes, any fun things that happened? Curiously, I see so many people. The people I was in the house with, man, they dressed up. They dressed up a lot fancier than I ever did when I was a kid. I don't know. When I dressed up, I remember one year I had a little clown costume with a Frankenstein mask on, and other year, all right, here's one year. One year I wanted to be a space alien, and the way we did that costume, my mom helped me. I wore red long underwear, so I looked kind of like more like a devil than an alien. But I wore red long underwear. We put Vaseline, covered my face in Vaseline. I mean, covered it, and then sprinkled silver glitter over my entire face. And that was my Halloween costume. And it was fine. I mean, it looked cool. It was fun and all that. But I gotta say, when I got back home and had to start wiping off all of that Vaseline from my face, I went several days with still feeling like I had stuff everywhere. And that glitter got all over the entire house. We didn't do that costume twice in a row. We'll just put it like that. But yeah, I saw some crazy, wild costumes. Kat Dunn, she had some amazing costumes. Cruella DeVille, I don't remember what else she did. So she had some fun. Yeah, I had fun looking on Instagram, social media, checking out all the different Halloween costumes. So that was my Halloween, and just eating a little bit of candy. Yeah, I don't want to. I ate a lot of candy. I had a little bit of a sugar coma. I watched the Astros, then had my sugar coma, went to bed early. So it's fun. Ma's saying, stop making me hungry. Yeah, well, kind of a food kind of night, because we'll talk about that as well. Mark Taylor, do you think? Oh, we talked about it. We'll talk about Survivor in a second. And then Michelle Moore, did you make those deviled eggs? No, I didn't. But that is a fantastic segue into the next little part of this thing. Y'all know I always a little this day in history and all that. And I got two of them for you. All right. Y'all remember old Chuck Woolery from Love Connections? He'd always say, we'll be back in 2 and 2. Feel like I'm doing as well. I got two different stories for you guys. The first one, did y'all know today, first day of November, today is National Vinegar Day, of all days. You know what? A lot of people don't like vinegar. I love vinegar. I always have. I eat everything. I eat just about all maybe not Halloween candy, but everything else I pretty much eat with vinegar on it. Fish and chips, French fries, Italian food, vegetables, everything. Yeah, maybe not ice cream and desserts either. No, not the sweet stuff, but everything else I love to put vinegar on. In fact, as I started to do the show, I just thought, this isn't product placement. All right, so now if there's a vinegar company that wants me to represent them, give me a shout. Yeah, we'll talk. But no, I just want to show you, I always keep my bottle of vinegar on the kitchen table. I put it on a lot of stuff. I love my vinegar. And I got to say, I was so excited when I got into the Big Brother house. And because here's one of the things, and y'all don't see the first week, so you don't necessarily see us doing this. We get in, you run around, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the Big Brother house. Oh my gosh, I better pick a bed in the bedroom and all that. And oh my gosh, I better not forget these people's names, which I did for a little while. And it was hard. I was so scared I was going to call someone by the wrong name, and that's it. My whole game goes away because of it. But you're so busy doing all of that. And then eventually we realized that there was a huge spread of sushi and sandwiches and so much food on the counters for us to eat that first day, just as kind of a welcome to your prison for the next 3.5 months. A fun prison, but a prison nevertheless. Of course, I guess you could leave anytime you want. They give you the key, but no one wants to use it. But now we had all that food. But eventually, someone got the bright idea. I'm sure it's probably Jackson or Jack, one or the other, said, let's look in the fridge and see what's in there. And they opened up the fridge, and we saw all this food and the milks and the chickens and the just everything that was in the fruits and all that inside that refrigerator. And then it kind of started hitting home that, man, we may be in this house for a while. I mean, it's a lot of food in there. When you're trying to feed 16 people, there's a lot of food in those refrigerators. But I remember as well looking at the condiments, and they had pickles and mayonnaise and all that. And I saw the vinegar and I saw the hot sauce. It's like, all right, well, I can survive in this house as long as I got those two things. Now, the hot sauce wasn't Tabasco, which kind of my favorite, but whatever. And it was California. I'll make do with whatever hot sauce they give me as long as they give me something. There were a lot of people in that house who had no tolerance for any kind of spice whatsoever, like Nicole Anthony. They couldn't. I think Sis was another one. They did not like it spicy at all. Well, maybe Sis did. I don't remember, but Nicole definitely did not. There were others of us like Mickey and myself. We spiced everything up, and so I was glad to have some spices, including the vinegars, hot sauces, and all that. So happy National Vinegar Day to all of y'all. I know some people like it, some people don't, but that's okay. It's there if you want it. But tomorrow may be a little different day, and kind of having to do with the backgrounds here. Tomorrow is National Deviled Egg Day. Yeah, I didn't know there was a day for deviled eggs either, but there is. And why they picked November 2nd, I don't know. But they picked November 2nd for National Deviled Eggs Day. I was looking at this picture, or trying to find a picture to put up in the background, and I saw a thing that said something like 63% of people say they like deviled eggs, 36% say they don't, and I guess that means 1% doesn't know what a deviled egg is. I don't know, but I guess you're either really hot or really cold in terms of liking deviled eggs, right? Y'all tell me out here, do y'all like them or can you not stand them? Because it's polls say it's about 2/3 like them and the other third do not. But Michelle, to answer your question, no, I didn't make them, although I've made my share of deviled eggs over the years. It's kind of a family tradition in the Hogg household. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, especially Easter. We always have deviled eggs. It's always been kind of our deviled eggs, and macaroni and cheese are the two things that have to go up on most of our family celebration, our big fancy meals that we have throughout the year. So I've had a lot of deviled eggs over the year. I don't know if y'all remember. Oh, you may remember. I remember Sis had to dress up like a chicken while she was inside the house. And not only that, but she would get called to cook eggs for the rest of us. And while she cooked them, she couldn't talk in human language. She could cluck, 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 cluck. That's about all she could do. And she could ask questions by going cluck, cluck, trying to help get us to help her out. But the big brother or the chicken voice would tell her what to fix. And she had no idea how to fix some of these things. And no one gave us recipes or anything else. So when they said we need eggs Benedict or whatever, they just had to assume, or we had to try to come up with what we thought was the best recipe. And I remember Sis had to make deviled eggs, and she didn't have a clue. I don't even know if Sis knew what they were. She just didn't know how to make them, and she just kept saying cluck, cluck. So I went in there and I helped her boil the eggs and told her, mayonnaise and mustard, a little vinegar, all the things that you put in a deviled egg, and helped her get them put it all together. And they were good. I got to say they were good, because here's the other deal too. When she was dressed up as a chicken having to cook these eggs, she then had to serve those eggs to everyone else. And I always didn't matter if it was 3:00 in the morning. I would always try to get up and be there with her, just to give her some support, some encouragement and all of that, just so she didn't think she was alone doing this punishment. But there was also a little ulterior motive beyond that. That meant I got the first servings of everything she fixed. So I ate my share of deviled eggs while she was dressed up as a chicken. They should have kept her as a chicken for just a little bit longer, perhaps. All right, let's see. Let's see. What else do we have on here? Bright Star, it's always fun here. You answer all of our Big Brother questions. Plus, you give us a tour of the world through your eyes. Well, thank you, Bright Star. And I guess you are seeing the world through my eyes. And it varies quite a bit. I am obviously, I guess I'm hungry tonight based on vinegars and eggs and everything else. You'd think I got enough Halloween candy, that wouldn't be the issue tonight. But tonight must be just a hunger night. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. And I love talking Big Brother, and I love asking the questions. So please, y'all never stop asking the questions, because otherwise it'd just be me out here talking without any input. And I've proven I can do that as well, right? Cliff notes inside the house and all that. But it's a lot more fun when I get the interaction with you guys. All right, let's see. It's always fun here. Thank you so much. I'm trying to catch up on the comments here. Cindy's on her iPhone instead of her iPad. Well, the iPads are finicky beast, right? All right, Mark Taylor, when will Big Brother Celebrity going to start? Also, Big Brother Canada. They're casting for Big Brother Canada right now. Typically, it starts, March, April, somewhere around there? Somewhere around there. I know it always finishes up right before Big Brother USA starts. So, yeah, right, somewhere right around there. As far as Celebrity Big Brother, I don't think they've announced the official dates yet. Right around the next week or two is normally when a lot of the networks start releasing the show schedules and things like that. So I expect, heck, maybe by next week, we'll know when Celebrity Big Brother starts. I don't think we'll know who's on it yet, but we should know at least a little bit of a schedule. If I had to guess, I don't know, late January, early February, maybe. I'm sure they'll make it through the holidays before they start that thing up, because no one wants to be trapped inside the Big Brother house over Christmas holidays. Whether you're a celebrity or just a regular person, no one wants to do that. So I'm sure it won't start till after the new year. But yeah, I could see it mid to late January. Brian saying, rumor has it that this month CBS will announce the dates for Celebrity Big Brother. Yeah, I assume the same thing. I think that's probably the case. Who's going to be on it? It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to have a blast watching it. Now, with that being said, y'all realize, you may not, I think I talked about last week, started last night. Actually, it started at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, but it was over in Australia. So what's that mean? 7:30 this morning or something? The first episode of Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother Australia came on. Now, they don't call it that. They call it Big Brother VIP, I think. Very, very important person. That's a good guess, isn't it? But that just started. I tried everything to watch that. I got home from work. I was trying to pull it up. I can't find it anywhere. So I haven't watched the first episode yet, but I'm going to try to track it down somehow. And I told y'all last week it had Meghan Markle's half-brother on there, and it had Caitlyn Jenner. And the one I couldn't remember who else is on there that y'all may recognize is Omarosa from Celebrity, or from The Apprentice. And, well, she was Celebrity Big Brother over here as well, right? So she's going to be over in the Australian version. And I'm really trying to track down that episode, the first episode, and figure out some way to watch it. If you find out how, let me know, because I haven't figured it out just yet. Short of flying all the way over to Australia, and I don't think that's gonna fly. I love Big Brother, but I probably can't quite justify doing that. But yeah, I'm trying to find it online. If I do, I'll give y'all a quick little 5-minute update every week or something, every Monday. Let you know what's going on in the show. But I gotta find it first. All right, Mark Taylor, do you think Erica should smash the hourglass? Let me. And Anna Canna said, what do you think Erica did with her decision? All right, let's talk about Big Brother. Big Brother. Got Big Brother on the brain. Let's talk about Survivor. Yeah, she's got to smash it, right? Is it really a cliffhanger? I don't know. I would have smashed that hour. It would have never even touched the ground. Jeff would have handed it to me. I would have said, yeah, okay. There you go. We're done, Jeff. Let's get off this godforsaken island. Get me back over to that larger godforsaken island, and let's announce it. Yeah, I'm picturing myself. If I'm on that island, I've just gotten exiled, so I'm all by myself. We heard Erica talking, saying, yeah, they said it was rock, paper, scissors, but I'm not really buying it. I think I'm probably kind of the odd man out. I'm not really sure that I've got any protection. You're thinking that you probably are the low man on a totem pole. And then you got to know that people are going to be suspicious. If you're off on an island all by yourself, when you come back, they're going to think that you got some kind of power, some kind of advantage, something. You don't leave and not come back with something that's going to help you out, right? I mean, that's what I'd be thinking. So with all of that in mind, I would just assume that I am target number one when I get back to that island. So yeah, there is zero hesitation on my part. If something like that happened in Big Brother, if picture on day number one, I got banished out of that house. And fortunately, I fought my way back in. But picture David Alexander. He got sent out the first day. What if instead of getting sent to sequester for a few weeks before he came back in, or a week or two? If Julie had said, all right, David, yeah, you can come back into the house, but they're going to be voting out, here in a day or two. Or we'll give you this power, which gives you safety for the next week. What are you going to do? Well, if it's me, I'm saying absolutely give me that power. Yeah, it may It may hurt her long term because, and I hope most of y'all are watching Survivor. If you aren't, bear with me. We'll talk for just a little bit. But she was on Team Lulu, and unfortunately, the team that she kind of has to turn on that won this competition that thinks they're safe are primarily the people from Team Lulu. So in getting her own safety, it means she kind of has to throw a lot of her former teammates under the bus, make them vulnerable to head out the door. So I've heard people say, oh, they're going to be mad at her for doing it, and it may long-term affect her game. Yeah, maybe. But short-term, it's sure going to affect her game, right? Two in the hand is worth one in the bush. One in the hand's worth two in the bush. That's what they say, right? I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to do whatever it takes. I did that in Big Brother. Whatever it takes just to survive one more week, and I'll figure the rest of it out next week. I think that's the way she has to do it. And I also think this. There may be people on her tribe that are going to be upset with her. Well, first of all, we know she doesn't necessarily know. We know they all want to get rid of her anyway, or a lot of them do. But even not knowing that, it seems like it'd be easy enough for her after this all happens to come to him and say, look, guys, I know that it makes y'all vulnerable, that you now don't have protection, that you've got to send someone home from the tribe, but then say, but I know y'all have the majority in this tribe, that there's enough of y'all can protect all of us Team Luvu. So I know we're still good. I wouldn't have done it if I thought y'all were at risk, guys, but I know y'all are safe, believe it or not, or whether she actually thinks that or not, doesn't matter. As long as she's got some kind of reason, some kind of justification. And really, do you need any more justification other than, hey, I was going to get sent home if I didn't do it? So I think she should do it. It kind of, I don't know. It was kind of weird that we had a cliffhanger. You don't have many of those on Survivor, right? I mean, normally we have the tribal council every single week and someone goes home, or at least they get sent off to an island or exile island, something like that. Didn't happen this time. So yeah, they tried to milk it into a cliffhanger and everything. I'm not buying it. If she turns out and doesn't use it, says, nah, I'm good, Jeff. I think I'll be all right. Well, then she deserves to go home, and it's going to be a little disappointing. So anyway, there you go. But nah, she's going to use it. I know she's going to use it. All right, let's see. Noah Lemon, what was your favorite Big Brother lines? Are you talking about our season, Noah, or just in general? If you're talking about my season, it's got to be the Fellowship of the Zing with Nicole, Ovi, and myself. Now, unfortunately, Ovi got sent home a little early. Unfortunately, Ovi and I had to compete, and only one of us could come back into the house. I hated to lose Ovi. Yeah, one of the greatest guys. I just loved hanging out with Ovi in the house. But yeah, certainly Fellowship of the Zing, favorite alliance of all time. Right after that, maybe Cliff's Angels. Yeah, I wonder why. Even though I didn't like the name of it. But nah. But if you're talking just general seasons overall, oh, I don't know. You know, the cookout was so successful this past season. So you gotta mention them anytime you're talking about alliances and all of that. I kind of like Fute and Level 6 back in season 20, just because they had characters in both that were just were fun. But I may go back a little further and say the Brigade. Remember them just because I like Brittany, I like Enzo, I like Lane. There's so many people I liked in that particular alliance. So maybe I'll stick with that alliance, but prove me wrong, because there's been a lot of fun alliances over the years. But yeah, the alliance is so interesting, the Big Brother game, because who do you trust? We see that on Survivor. So many people are so trusting, which, all right, if you've been in a Big Brother house for 60 days, 70 days, maybe even if you're wrong, you can at least argue that I've had enough time to see this person's character, at least what they show me inside the house. But you feel like at least you know something about this person from conversations you've had. Survivor, they're only out there this season for what, 26 days or so? It's short. I don't know how. So what we're on episode 6, I think. How many days is it? They've maybe been out there 2 weeks at this point in time. Some maybe a little more, a little less, probably a little more than that. But still, they haven't been out there that long. So to think that you are putting your entire game potentially into the hands of someone else because you're trusting them and you're giving them some information that you probably shouldn't give them. It just blows me away how trusting people are out on that island. And we've seen people pay the price for it as well, right? Seems like the last few evictees all paid the price of being a little too trusting in the information they gave out. Chaz is saying, What did you do in your audition video for Big Brother? Any advice? Yeah, Chaz, and good point, because we will be having the tryouts, and I don't know if they'll have casting calls this season or not. They haven't for the past 2 years, and they may just have videos only again this year. Are they videos? If you tape it with a phone and you don't have an actual videotape, or I guess they're still videos. But anyway, so what did I do in my audition video? Nothing at all, because I didn't make a video. I showed up at a casting call. I showed up. I had nothing planned. I stood in line for several hours. I got in there, and basically, I think a question I was asked is, why do you think you'd be good in Big Brother? And I said, here's why I think I'm going to win Big Brother. And I told everyone, I said, I'm a storyteller. If I'm in that house 99 nights, I've got 100 stories to tell. I'm just going to try to have fun while I'm in there. And I told real quickly one or two little stories about sleeping under bulletproof blankets, having guns pulled on me, things like that. And that was it. And next thing you know, I'm getting some calls. And next thing you know, I'm flying out to LA to do some more further down the line tryouts and things like that. And I eventually went in, and while I visited with a bunch of the casting people, they videotaped me. But at that point, I had someone sitting across from me asking me questions and talking. And so it wasn't a video, an audition tape like we always think about with Big Brother. So I haven't actually done one, but I do have some advice for you guys, because I've certainly talked to enough other people who have done it. I know who's been successful and who hasn't. First of all, you can't get upset if you don't make it on. It may not have anything at all to do with your tape. It's just such a weird situation. They're trying to find these people that fit with each other, and they may just know exactly what kind of person they want. And you may be the most wonderful person in the world, but you don't quite fit that little puzzle piece look to it. So if you don't make it on, it doesn't say anything bad about you. It's just one of those things that happens sometimes. But what should you do? The main thing is you got to be yourself. You got to figure out what about you would make you stand out from everyone else that's trying out. When I went to that casting call, I had 300 people in line in front of me. And so I had to think, what have I done, or what is there about me that's different from everyone else that's standing in line? Well, with me, it was a little easier. I was a little older. I had on a cowboy hat. Not a lot of cowboy hats in that line and all that. But I still said, okay, I've got a lot more experience with crazy stuff that's happened all over the world. So I knew that being the storyteller, being someone that's got a lot of background, crazy stuff to talk about, would kind of be the area where I could stand out. So that's what I focused on when I talked in front of the producers. Y'all need to do the same thing. If you're someone who's, maybe you're the child of an army brat, you're an army brat, you've been all over the world, we'll talk about that. Maybe you're a star athlete, maybe you were the most amazing person in debate, whatever it is that you've done that makes you stand out, focus on it and talk about it. Don't create some character. Don't go in there saying, oh, they always want a villain. I'm going to be the villain. If you're a nice, sweet person, you aren't going to be able to pull it off, and they'll be able to tell when they're talking to you. So don't try to create anything. Just figure out what you're good at, and then emphasize, exaggerate it even. I mean, don't make stuff up, but you can really focus on it, right? The other couple of ideas I got before we move on. One is don't say, oh, I'm super sarcastic, or I'm super funny, or I'm super snappy. Well, whatever don't tell them what you are. You need to figure it out. You need to let them understand it while they're talking to you. If you think you're funny, be prepared to throw in some wisecracks or do whatever you need to do as part of your tape itself. They don't want you to just say, yeah, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Let them figure out what you are and how you fit into the deal. The other thing, don't go in there. It's okay to practice. It's okay to know what you're going to talk about. We're all going to do that. But don't think it has to be perfect. And here's a little bit of advice I'll tell y'all, which you may or may not know. While I was in the house, we were talking about how we tried out and everything. And Christy, I always remember her saying that she filmed over and over again. And she had one that she kept messing up. And so she'd say, do it again, do it again. Finally, she got the one where she said everything exactly perfectly, and it was exactly what she wanted. But then she watched it, and it didn't seem like she was very energetic. It just was too rehearsed. It's like someone reading lines, a news anchor reading lines off camera or something. And she went back and she actually used one of the other ones where she She didn't get all her words right. Occasionally she stumbled over her words, things like that, but she just was having more fun with it. And so that's like, don't try to just rehearse anything. Don't have all your lines memorized. Maybe just have some bullet points and know kind of what you want to talk about. But you're not giving a speech, you're having a conversation, right? Act like your best friends on the other side of that phone or camera, and you're just talking to your best friend saying, this is why I want to go on the show. It's because of this, this, and this. And act like you're talking to a friend instead of talking to the producers. If you do that, I think you got a much better chance. So there you go. All right, now what else we got on? Linda Acuff, will they go up against the Olympics in February? Yeah, probably. I saw a thing yesterday. The Beijing Winter Olympics are up in less than 100 days, or right at 100 days or so. So 3 months. So what's that? November, December, January. Could be. Now they may wait until right after the Olympics are over. Y'all tell me, because I'm not sure exactly when they start, but maybe they're going to wait till the Olympics are over and then do Big Brother. They may just go ahead and say, let's just go ahead and get it going. When I got out of the house, when we're up on stage finale night and we're all talking and hugging each other, I saw Julie, and I guess being this Big Brother fan that I am, I just got through with the show, but I came up and said, when are they doing? Are they doing Celebrity Big Brother? We were in the house. I haven't heard. Are they going to do it? And she said, we may not do it this year, Cliff. We're going to kind of let them do the Olympics, and then we'll maybe think about next year. Well, then the Olympics get canceled because of COVID and all that, and so best laid plans on it. So maybe they're thinking the same thing this year. Maybe after waiting so long and having to deal with COVID and all of that, CBS is saying, whatever. Whether they have the Olympics or not, we're having Celebrity Big Brother, which is fine with me. I'll watch videotapes of the Olympic events later. I'll watch hockey and some of the figure skating, some of the Olympic bobsled. I love that. I'll watch some of those, but I may just tape those and watch them later because I'll be glued onto the live feeds and Celebrity Big Brother. All right, Elisha, what do you think of the challenge so far? I'm enjoying it. I always enjoy the challenge. And I watch them fight each other and everything, and they get so emotional. And there's a part of me that says, why are you doing this, guys? Why? Just chill out, just play the game. You're going to be so much better off. But I also know that the people inside that challenge house, they know they'll get a little more camera time if they're a little more vocal in their emotions, right? So I see some of that. But no, I love watching them play, the strategy, just like Big Brother, the most fun part of watching. I love watching the competitions, don't get me wrong, but it's mainly the background, the strategy play of we're going to do this. We're going to, you say this, but we're going to do this and that. The betrayals, the backstabbing, and the alliances and everything. That's what I always enjoy. Now, the challenge is kind of interesting because you have the same people come back year after year after year or season after season. So you get the vets that all team up against the rookies. And I picture if I went in the challenge house, it'd be hard because I would be the rookie. Also, athletically, they're not going to, I don't know if that would hurt me or help me in the early part of the game. They may let me hang around just a little bit longer because I'm not a threat to anyone. Get rid of me later. But on the other hand, the Big Brother players, there's enough of them in that house that now they have their own little alliance. I guarantee if I go in there, I'm immediately going over to Josh and KC and Amber and Fessy and all of them saying, you got me, right? You got my back. You're going to hold on to me, right? Now, take me out in the finals if you want, but hold on to me right now, right, guys? So, yeah, I would feel like I'd have a little bit of a built-in alliance because of that. But, yeah, that's a long answer. Short answer is I've enjoyed the challenge this season. I kind of hated to see Fessy go when he did because I wanted them to get a eating challenge and see if Fessy could actually stomach see what I did there? See if Fessy could stomach an eating challenge. Because so far, he hadn't shown that he can do any kind of eating competitions whatsoever, which just makes me think we need to make sure that he's got more eating challenges on down the road. But yeah, I've loved the challenge. I did not do a recap of it this season just because I didn't have enough hours in the day between Survivor and work and just a lot going on. So I didn't have a chance. But I'm watching it. I promise you, I'm watching it. All right, Joyce Grinstead. Looking forward to Amazing Race. As am I. What is it? Are they season 41 also? That seems That seems like a lot. Maybe it's not that many seasons, but I saw that they're back in, or they're getting ready to go back in production. I think we talked about it here a few weeks ago. I don't know if they're taking the people, because when they were filming it, they had to stop after 2 or 3 episodes because of COVID and all of that. I don't know if they're taking those teams and letting them finish, or somehow bringing them back, or they just said, sorry guys, y'all are the lost season. We'll never see anything from you guys, which would be a shame. How horrible would that be to tell all your friends and family, hey, I'm going to be on The Amazing Race. Well, COVID hit. Now I'm not going to be on at all. That'd be hard. Yeah, I'm so excited about The Amazing Race. It's still tough. I mean, even though I see a light at the end of the tunnel with regards to COVID and all of that, it's still not great. There's still a lot of places. Moscow, Russia, all of Russia is having major issues right now with COVID. So there's a lot of places that are still hurting badly with this virus. So I'm not sure just yet how you do The Amazing Race, but I guess they figure it out. So even if you just did Amazing Race within, I don't care where you do it. It's just the idea of I'm ready for it to come back. Absolutely. Joyce, season 33. Okay, thank you. That's I was saying 41, but I knew that was, it's Big Brother. I mean, it's Survivor, right? I only do a recap every week, and I couldn't remember what season. Yeah, Survivor season 41, Amazing Race season 33, Big Brother getting ready to be season 24. Can you believe it? So many of these reality programs, we're all in double-digit numbers with all of this stuff. I remember when they all first started. I remember season 2 of Survivor in Africa. It was like, I'm so glad they're bringing the show back. Well, yeah, they brought it back a few times now, haven't they? All right, Chaz, what do you make? What do they make you think is going on when you get your key? I always wondered if you guys knew it was coming. All right, here's the thing, Chaz. If production people show up at your house to film you, you kind of think there's a good chance that you may be heading out the door to go on the show, right? I mean, there's only so much surprise you can have. But with that being said, when I pulled my key, I had no idea. And there's 2 reasons for that. First of all, there's a lot of conversation throughout the entire tryout process of, yes, you made it to the next step, Cliff, but just remember there's still several hundred people that are in the running. So don't get your hopes up too much. Or, yeah, Cliff, you made it out to LA, but realize there's a lot of people coming out here. So you still, there's nothing guaranteed. Even at the very end, it's, well, Cliff, yeah, you definitely have a decent chance. You probably want to talk to people at work and make sure, you can't tell them why, but make sure that they know you may be leaving and all that. But there was also a lot of, but just keep in mind, we always have alternates every year. And there's a good chance, even if you do make it out to LA, you just may be an alternate. You may never make it on a show. So they do a good job of keeping your emotions a little tempered down the whole time and not being too, I went the whole time during tries thinking, yeah, this is really cool, but they're going to call me tomorrow and tell me it stops right here. And all of a sudden, a few weeks before I actually got snatched for the show, I remember talking to Sharon and saying, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking at this point, maybe I am going to make it on the show. Wow. But when I got my key, I had no clue. I knew they were going to show up. I assumed that probably they were going to maybe grab me and take me. But even then I was told, we've got to shoot extra shots, a lot of extra people to, just to make it. But just, you don't know. And so I was so busy trying to, people there filming. I want to be there with my family and everything. And I just wasn't thinking about the key until I reached down in the tackle box in my case and saw the key. It's like, oh my gosh, wow. And that was one take. They didn't say, all right, Cliff, let's do it again and act more surprised. Now I was plenty surprised. I was plenty happy. They said, yeah, Cliff, we're good. We only needed one shot of that. You acted exactly as we expected you to. So yeah. So Chaz, yeah, I kind of suspected. I suspected I was going to LA. I had no clue whether I was going as an alternate or as a person in the house. But still, when I saw the key, I wasn't expecting it to show up like that. I really figured that they do it some other way. They caught me off guard. I think most people they catch off guard. They're really good at it. They really know what to say to kind of catch you off guard and surprise you. So yeah, it wasn't scripted. That was my surprise and my pure happiness when I saw that. All right. Anna Cano. Heard that the Super Bowl will be during the Olympics. I hadn't heard that. I'm a fan of the Houston Texans, so I'm not sure that the Super Bowl this season or next January is necessarily going to be my very top thing to be watching. I watch the Super Bowl no matter. I'm sure a lot of y'all are the same way. I watch the Super Bowl no matter who the actual teams are, but sometimes I don't care that much about the teams, and so I just watch it for the commercials, just to see what kind of goofy stuff or fun commercials they're going to have and all that. Yeah, I don't think my Texans are making it this year. They're competing to see if they can get the number one draft choice instead. But I guess I know Super Bowl will be towards the end of January. So yeah, you could have the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and Celebrity Big Brother. It's gonna be a busy weekend, right? But that's all right. I'll take it. I'll take every bit of it. All right, let's see what else we've got on here. Cindy says I was Bob Marley, and my dog was a rest dog. One funniest costume. Well, that's a pretty funny costume. I couldn't pull it off, but Cindy, that's cool. I like that. It's a very, very creative costume. All right, let's see. Vinegar tried out for Jeopardy. Oh, Lawrence Santa tried out for Jeopardy once. You have to answer 50 questions in 8 minutes. You have to get like 43 out of 50 considered for the show. Yeah, I watch Jeopardy every day, and I run so hot and cold on that show because there'll be some category or a couple of categories where I get every single answer right. And it's like, oh man, I could go on this show. I could win $1 million just like James Maslow and some of the other people that have done so well. I'd have this. I'd have it figured out. Usually it's a category like geography, things like that. I'm usually pretty good. But then there's other categories. 17th century European operas or Byzantine dynasties of the 12th century. It's like, yeah, you might as well just go ahead and give the money to the other players right then and there because I don't even know what the question is you're asking or the answer, I guess. So yeah, sometimes I feel so proud of myself, and other times I'm just sitting there the whole time saying, how do they know this? How do they know this? How do they know this? Getting 43 out of 50 questions right in 8 minutes, that'd be pretty tough, Lawrence. How'd you do? I'd be curious. Do they tell you what your score is, or they either say, you're moving on, or you don't qualify. Get the heck out of here. I'd be curious about that. So yeah, see. Chaz saying, what do you think of Boston Rob maybe being on Celebrity Big Brother? And Julia saying she loves Boston Rob. I do too. Boston Rob, man, I remember his very first season on the show. He was with who was it? He was on a tribe with a guy who was an airline pilot. And this guy was kind of an alpha male. He was athletic and, just your all-American kind of guy. And Boston Rob and 1 or 2 other people ended up saying, let's get him out of here. We need to get him out of here. And at the time, I was like, why would you get rid of the guy that is so athletic and seems so nice and friendly and everyone likes him all that? Well, now I get it. That was back in the day when I guess you were starting to see Big Brother strategy. Big Brother, I keep saying it. Starting to see Survivor strategies develop that sometimes you don't want to keep the best person. You don't want to keep the nicest person, the most athletic person. You get rid of them. And that's what they did. And at the time, I couldn't quite understand it. Now, as I look back, it's like, you had it figured out, Rob. It was, I like Boston Rob. I like all the Robs on Survivor. I like Rob's sister, Nino, one of my favorite podcasters. And I certainly like Boston Rob as well. I'd love to see him on Celebrity Big Brother. I'm curious to see how he would do. He's confident enough in his abilities that I think he could grab some people and pull them together and maybe put some fear into some people that weren't part of his alliance and keep them from targeting him out of fear that he would go after them. I think he'd do pretty well. But yeah, I'm excited to see it too. I'm really waiting to see who these Celebrity Big Brother people are. I really hope whoever they pick for this season, that at least some of them are true Big Brother fans that also just happen to be celebrities, as opposed to, I don't necessarily want people who are just, Olympic athletes or performers or singers, where that don't really understand the Big Brother show, and they're just there because their manager said, get you some more eyeballs and help you get some things going here and there. I don't want people in the house that are there because they think it's going to further their PR outside the Big Brother house. I want them to come in that house and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm in the house. I want them to be excited about being in the Big Brother house as I was excited about being in the Big Brother house. So that's what I'm hoping for. Who that's going to be, I don't know. It'd be fun seeing though. That's what I want to hear is when they announce the actual cast list. All right, let's see. Mark Taylor, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? Mine was the kicking field horse. I like that one. I gotta say, I'm always kind of a sap for the sad ones, and I don't want to watch too many of those because I don't want to get all melancholy while I'm watching the Super Bowl. Well, they always have the puppy dog that's that makes it back home with the Clydesdale horses and things like that. Those are always get me. Those are some of the ones I remember. And now I like the really funny ones. I don't know, the Doritos that are getting thrown all over and things like that. I couldn't even tell you now. We always watch the Super Bowl commercials, the TV shows later, and all of that stuff. The ones I'm not a big fan of are I don't need to see another insurance commercial on TV ever again. Is it because I've seen their commercials so often that I just tune out as soon as they turn on, or I don't know. I don't need to. Insurance commercials and telephone commercials, the latest cell phone plans and all that. I kind of know how that's it, guys. I think I'm okay making my choices at this point in time. You don't need to keep bombarding me with those commercials every single 10 minutes on some of my favorite shows. So I don't know. My own little soapbox there. I like most of the commercials. I like the ones that aren't trying to send out too hard a message. If you push it too hard, just hit you in the face with some kind of a message. I don't know. Play it back and just have fun with the commercials. Those are the ones I always like. Chaz is saying, strategically, who is the top 3 Survivor players you'd like to see play Big Brother? Ooh, gosh, how do you do that? I'll throw out a few. Boston Rob, we've mentioned. Tyson. I think Tyson would be kind of interesting to watch play the game, right? Rupert. Now, I don't know if Rupert would ever come back. Seems like he maybe has kind of had his share and has moved on. But Rupert, I'd kind of like to see him in the house as well. Who else? I don't know. I mean, it's easy to pick people like Poverty and some of those that did so well. Sandra. I don't know how Sandra's game would play in the Big Brother house. I mean, she's won twice, right? So she obviously knows how to play Survivor. Big Brother, I feel like she would alienate some people. I don't know. It's kind of the same game, but yet not quite so much. And I almost feel like relationships become a little bit more important in the Big Brother house than they do in the game of Survivor. So that'd make it hard. Rick Devens. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. I'd love to see him in the Big Brother house as well. I could probably go in and name about 24 people I'd love to see play the Big Brother game because there's been so many seasons of Survivor to pick from. So yeah, there's quite a few of them that would be interesting. So, all right. Wow. It is 7:50. I just feel like I've been talking the whole time through. I've been trying to look at the comments. I hope I'm getting to enough of these guys. I'm trying. Michelle Moore, do you watch Sister Wives and Seeking Sister Wife? Have I ever seen it? Yes. Do I watch it here recently? No, not so much. Just I don't know. I just so many shows I'm watching right now and everything else. So liberty. Yes, Michelle Moore, you know what I'm talking about. So no, I haven't watched Sister Wives in a while, but I know what you're talking about. So let's talk about what I have been watching because I told y'all Ted Lasso a couple of weeks ago. I watched Dune as well, which is interesting. I watched a couple of new ones that I have pretty positive recommendations for. First of all, last night. Halloween and all of that. Yeah, I watched the Astros, but after that was over, we did watch kind of a scary movie, and it was a good one. I'd never even heard of it, but I watched it, and y'all might want to check it out. I think it was on Netflix. Woman in the Window stars Amy Adams, and I just can't give away a lot without being a spoiler. So I'll just say it's a woman who spends most of the time in her house. She's agoraphobic. I think that's the word for doesn't like to go outside. So she's stuck inside a big old house and sees all kinds of things happening, and it kind of upends her world. And we'll just leave it at that because I don't want to throw out a lot of spoilers, but it was good. It very much reminded me of old Alfred Hitchcock type movies, the North by Northwest, Vertigo, the 39 Steps. I love me some Alfred Hitchcock. I watched all the Birds. I watched all of his shows, his movies. He also had the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, half hour, his mystery show, which was kind of like a Twilight Zone, but it was just dealing with crazy people and stuff. So I love me some Alfred Hitchcock. I gotta say, one of the movies I watched as a kid that scared me more than any other movie was Psycho. Oh, rah, 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 rah. Psycho didn't have nearly the gore and the slasher stuff and everything like we have nowadays. It's, you see Halloween and Freddy Krueger and all, and it's all about how can we one up other people, and then you get movies like Saw and all that, which I just feels like almost torture porn kind of stuff. Now, Psycho didn't have any of that. It was just pure edge of your seat kind of stuff. I love me some Psycho. Didn't take a shower for about a month after that, but I loved watching Psycho. So, yeah, Woman in a Window very much reminded me of the old Alfred Hitchcock movies. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty good. I watched another movie Friday night in preparation for Halloween. I'd seen it before, but I hadn't seen it in a long time. And it was Paranormal Activity. Have y'all seen that one? Oh, my God. It scared me so much when I watched it the first time. And it scared me again watching it. The creep factor in that particular movie was awesome. So if you haven't watched Paranormal Activity, I haven't seen all the sequels, so I can't tell you anything about those. But the first one was fantastic. Now I got a real quick story for you, and it's got to be quick because we're getting ready to shut down. But Paranormal Activity came out of the theaters. I was over in Azerbaijan, which is over on the Black Sea, over by Armenia, south of Russia, and way over there in Azerbaijan. And there was a video store that sold a whole lot of DVDs of a whole lot of movies and movies that just come out on DVD and such. And so I bought a DVD of Paranormal Activity, brought it back home, and my wife and I watched that one night and just scared ourselves silly with it. I didn't realize at the time that the movie I bought over in Asia, for whatever reason, had an alternate ending from the ending that everyone else saw that watched Paranormal Activity at the movies or watches it on TV here in the States. They've got 3 or 4 different alternate endings, and I can't tell you which one it is without spoiling it for those of you who, it's been so long, right? I kind of feel like the statute of limitations on spoilers should be a couple of years, but I'm still not going to say anything about it just in case, because it's such a great one. But it had a different ending from what everyone else saw over here. And at one point I was talking to, I don't know, my brother or someone about the ending, and they said, yeah, that's not what happens. Well, it happened on my movie. And I spent a long time thinking, oh, maybe I just misremembered or something. No, it was just an alternate ending that they had, especially for the people over in Azerbaijan or something. I don't know. So there's my little story about Paranormal Activity. I love Paranormal. It was a great show too. But watch Woman in the Window. And finally, another one, I can't say I binged it because I only watched the first episode. But it's on Apple TV for those of you who get it. If not, figure out, you can probably find it on YouTube or something. I don't know. But Foundation, another science fiction movie. There's so many sci-fi movies coming out. And the reason I mention that, Foundation trilogy, 3 books, is what turned me on to science fiction when I was a fairly young kid. I would read all these Tom Swift Goes to the Moon and kind of, junior high school type science fiction type stuff. And I loved all of it. But I had a friend of my parents who said, oh, Cliff, you're into science fiction. Well, read this trilogy by Isaac Asimov, a very famous science fiction writer. If y'all haven't read his stuff, read it. He's all about iRobot. Remember that Will Smith movie? Isaac Asimov is the one that wrote that, or at least the original novel for it. But this friend of my parents said, read this, Cliff. It's the best science fiction that's ever been written. And I said, okay. I tried to read it. I was probably 9 or 10 at the time. I said, it's too hard. I can't read it. It was too complex. Put it over on the bookshelf. A couple of years later, I picked it back up. I read it. I fell in love with it. That's what made me huge into science fiction. It's what made me such a huge fan of the space program. Y'all know how big I am into NASA and all that. It all started with this one guy giving me this book, Foundation. So when the TV show came out, I was like, oh, I got to watch that. So I watched the first episode and a half. It's pretty cool. There's some amazing special effects in this show. So I'll give y'all more of an update here in a few weeks once I've watched the rest of it. It's the very first season of this series. I think there's 9 or 10 episodes. So far, so good. I'm kind of into it. So there you go. All right, let's see what else. TV Talks with Tom. Good evening. I hope you had a great Halloween. Well, thank you, Tom. I hope you did as well. Uh, how do y'all celebrate Halloween? Because you're over in the UK, right? If I'm wrong, then I feel like a complete idiot. But yeah, I guess you have similar celebrations and everything, right? Now, I hope you had a fantastic Halloween. As I said earlier, mine was a little laid back, a little focused on the Astros and all that. But yeah, still a lot of fun. And I still ate a few more candy corns than I needed to, which always is a sign of a successful Halloween. So yeah, one of these days I'm gonna go back and do it the way we did for a while. When my kids were in like high school, and we had fun. We'd set up sheets and jump out when kids came to the door from behind the sheets, and I had scary music playing, and we really got all into it. I'm gonna do that again. I love celebrating Halloween. It's just so much fun watching these little kids that are so excited going around. The whole idea of saying, hey, just go up to this random door, hold out a sack, and they'll give you free candy. How cool is that? I mean, Halloween and Christmas, some pretty cool holidays when it comes to the kids, right? Yeah, I kind of miss Halloween. I'm ready to start celebrating again a little more forcefully somewhere down the road. So yeah, I love Halloween. So I had a good Halloween, Tom. I hope you did as well. All right. Real quick, Rich Cat Ranch. Have you read any Kim Stanley Robinson? Enjoy Science in the Capital series. I don't recognize Science in the Capital, but I've read some of his stuff, and I just can't tell you a specific book right now. I like all of them. I like that. I like Ringworld, Larry Niven, and Arthur C. Clarke. Again, Isaac Asimov. I wrote my senior theme on him just because I loved his sci-fi so much. So yeah, I love him on. And as we talked about last week, Wheels of Time, one of these days when I have about 20 years to dedicate to the 20 million words in that novel, I'll read that as well. So there you go. All right, guys, it's 8:00. I am going to shut it down. Again, thank y'all all for the support that you give me out here. I appreciate it so much. We'll be back again next Monday to do another live episode. But between now and then, I am going to watch The Survivor. I guess it'll be episode 7. I think we're on 7. I'll be watching Survivor on Wednesday, and I'll give y'all a recap on that. Now, maybe my Astros make it to a Game 7, and if so, then I'm going to have to be bouncing Survivor and World Series. But I'll make sure y'all are taken care of. I'll do the recap of Survivor and probably have it either Wednesday night or Thursday morning. So until then, check that out. Again, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't done so already, and that way you're guaranteed to know whenever I drop a new video and such. But beyond that, y'all have a fantastic very first week of November. I will see y'all back here on Monday. Until then, SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love all of y'all out there. Have a great week. Give some people some hugs and enjoy your week. And I will see y'all next Monday. Cheers, my friends. Bye. All right, now I'm out of here. Bye, guys.